We are back with Conflict Hotline. Remember, this is a call-in show, so if you want to call in, you can at 510-848-5483. We have a caller now. On the line is Joseph, and he has a situation called Joseph and the Trash.
Hello, Joseph. Would you tell us about the situation that you're calling about?
Oh, I'd be happy to. So I'm living in Berkeley this summer, and in the house that I'm living in, I was taking out the trash the other day, and I noticed that there were so many plastic containers and bottles and all of these items that will go into waste dumps, and they're not biodegradable, and they're harmful for our environment. But I find that the only way that I can really get food for an inexpensive price, for a reasonable price, is to buy food that often comes in these packages. So my problem basically is that it is difficult, it's so far impossible from my understanding, to live a conscious, nonviolent lifestyle if I need to by how do I say it? Purchasing the necessary items that I need to live.
So your issue is about what you can do in terms of your own consumption. It's not so much with the practices of your neighbors.
Well, it is both, because my neighbors downstairs also, I see, are having the same problem, if not larger. Mm-hmm. I recognize it is a community issue.
So and so what I am hearing is that you are really kind of like caught in a place of what can you as a single individual do?
Yes.
And I am somehow imagining that there is some different aspects of this dilemma for you, and I think that the way that we're thinking of playing this out in our studio is by sort of dividing you into two parts.
Okay.
And having a dialogue between the two parts. And so I want to check in with you to see if I get the parts accurately. I'm guessing that there is one part that is just in really deep despair about the whole situation in terms of the food choices, the degradation of the environment, and all of that. Is that true?
That is true. I forgot to mention that I would like to garden, but I don't have access to a garden of my own food. Yes.
And there is, then I'm hearing the other part, which is longing to find things that you as an individual can do so that you can at least live with a sense of integrity inside of you about your choices. Yeah?
Yeah, he said
yes. Okay.
That
Okay, so we're going to pick these two voices to be in dialogue with each other and see what happens. And then we'll check in with you afterwards to see if what we play out here has any merit in terms of what is true inside of you. It might end up having merit or not. And so please stay on the line. It might be tempting to participate, and I ask you to just witness and listen, and I'll check in with you at a certain point later. Is that okay with you?
That sounds great.
Thank you, Joseph. So, Ellie, will you be the voice of despair?
Sure.
And you will be the voice of integrity and wanting to find something that you can do as an individual.
Okay.
Let's see how you talk with each other. Yeah.
So yeah, I just when I see all that trash and the plastic wrappers and the boxes, and I see that some of them are mine, and that there's no way I can get food unless I buy it at the store, I just, I feel really despairing. I don't know what to do.
And part of it is not just you. I'm guessing that there is also, like you multiplied by 7 billion.
Yeah, I mean, I think about how, I'm at least conscious of the impact all this stuff is making. And then there's all these people who I don't think even care or even aware of it. So it's like, if it's this hard for me and I'm aware, just multiplying it, it's just overwhelming.
Yeah. So I want to say before we continue that this kind of raw despair is something that a lot of activists really try hard to stay away from because of concern that it will stop you from being able to take action or being effective or responding. And it, in my experience, it festers and turns into bitterness or anger or resentment, or for some people into apathy and burnout and resignation. And I want to check in with Joseph and just see if what I'm talking about resonates for you.
I think it does resonate, but I am not yet to that point. I still am very passionate about seeing what I can do.
Great. I'm delighted to hear that, and we're going to give voice to that in a moment. And because I want to make it helpful to you and to the audience, I am also thinking about how important it is to make room for the despair and to really be with it and find and refine the core of care that is inside of it. So we'll come back to this in a moment, and then I'd like to hear from you.
Yeah, I'm passionate. I want to do something. I mean, I'm just searching for what it is that I can do. I want to garden, but I don't have room for a garden, so I'm just trying to think, like there's got to be something I can do. I've got to get out there and change the systems, or maybe I need to, buy different things, or I don't know, but definitely don't get caught up in despair. Just, do something.
So what happens to you when you hear the voice of despair?
Oh, I don't want to hear the voice of despair. I want to just focus on what I can do.
Mm-hmm. Does that match for you, Joseph?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so let's have you try to talk to each other and see what happens.
Well, I feel hurt that you don't want to hear from me.
We don't have time for your, sitting around feeling bad about everything, Sitting around feeling bad doesn't do anybody any good. We've got to get out there and do something.
But I'm depressed. I'm despairing. That's just the truth.
Is there kind of like a, what's the point? Why do anything? It's not going to amount to anything.
Yeah.
So, you are caught up in a potential, little inner war, and the question is, are you willing to hear the despair, so that whatever action you take comes from a place of wholeness, of not being afraid of any part of yourself?
It makes sense. I'm not feeling very willing, but it makes sense.
Okay, so let's see if there's willingness on this side instead. Hearing can happen from either side to either side. There's no rule that one side is supposed to listen first. How about you? Are you in a place where you are open to hearing and connecting with the passion that she has?
Honestly, no. Mm-hmm. I'm feeling rejected. Like as despair. I don't know if you want me to actually be despair. As despair, I feel like there's no room for me. Mm-hmm. So, I'm feeling rejected.
And so then, what you're going to do, because it's kind of like odd to talk about parts inside acting out, and still, let's just kind of like run with this metaphor for another little bit. Anybody, including an inner part, when they're not feeling heard, are going to try to turn up the volume in order to be heard.
Yeah.
So what do you imagine you will end up doing?
Staying in bed, you know, not getting out of bed. It's just too overwhelming.
So, are you willing to try?
Yeah.